Porter Martone got his first taste of talking to the media. And he did it brilliantly. Oh, yeah. If you thought that Porter Martone wasn't going to be ready for the bright lights of the NHL this season, oh, don't worry. He's putting the spotlight on himself in a good way. He's putting a target. He's putting the target of the fan base squarely here in that circle on the Flyers' crest. And he made it very clear that his goal isn't to go off to Penn State, have a nice college season, and then, maybe get a late call-up. No. Porter Martone talked to the media today, and he expressed a very lofty goal that he has for this upcoming season. So we're going to throw it over to Porter Martone. We'll interject here and there. But something very, very notable came out of this press conference. Let's go over. And by the way, I see the Flyers are now also using StreamYard. Somebody's got to pony up that money or give good old Russ Joy a call to get rid of the StreamYard logo in the corner. Hopefully, you'll see it. Oh, you know what? The Russ Joy logo covered it up. So all good, Fly guys. All good. Let's hear it from Porter Martone, though, because like I said, he has a lot to say. And I think the most notable thing that will come out of Dev Camp this entire week came out of his mouth earlier today. Let's go out to Porter Martone.
Pretty cool. And to be able to put on the Flyers jersey for the first time was something special.
Wayne Simmons was out there today. He played a similar style to the way you play. What was it like kind of being around him? Did you get to talk to him at all and give you any tips?
Yeah,
By the way, this was a really cool moment. This is like one of those things where, like, when you see former Flyers come back and be involved with the team in some way, Martone is going to kind of give you a little bit of a story about something that happened with him and Wayne Simmons when he was younger. But every guy that was asked about Wayne Simmons today glowed because Wayne Simmons was one of the most respected players to don the orange and black in the last decade or so. Like, unbelievably high approval rating among Flyers fans. All right, let's go out to Martone.
Everyone knows that all the development people are going to be, crucial to not just me, but all the prospects, coming through the development camp. And furthermore, they're always there to, I could ask questions to them. They're always willing to teach me things. And, they're going to be there every step of the way to, help me get to that next level and make the NHL. So for Wayne Simmons, pretty cool. Actually, I found a couple photos of my phone with me as a kid, out on the ice here with Wayne Simmons. So it was pretty.
And I'm actually going to show you right now because the Flyers have since put out the pictures. Just take a look at this. Like he's talking about these pictures that were on his phone. Is this insane? Because this feels pretty insane. Here's Porter Martone then, right? Wee little lad, Porter Martone with Wayne Simmons, Philadelphia Flyer. And here they are today. Now Martone's on the ice, towering over a lot of people on that ice. And he's there with Wayne Simmons. Is that a cool moment? I think it's a pretty cool moment. I'm a little bit of a sap. Okay, admittedly, I'm a little bit of a sap. I'm a little bit of a sucker for like the nice, heartwarming moments. But that's a pretty cool full circle moment. It's okay. The Flyers put that out. Good on them. Obviously, that's going to get a lot of really cool things, a lot of good feedback from the fan base. All right, let's go back to Porter Martone now as he's waxing poetic about Wayne Simmons.
Special moment to, now you're working with him in the same organization.
So you were on the ice with him when you were a kid?
Oh, no, like just after practice, he walked off the ice and I was here and we got a photo. It's pretty cool when you get to see people you idolize when you're a kid and now you're, working with them, they're part of your development staff to, try to get you a better hockey player.
Did you show him the photo?
Not yet. I told him about it. That's one of the first things I told him out there, but, I haven't shown him yet.
Remember what he was like then? Was he pretty friendly and nice to?
Yeah. I mean, we had I think 50 kids, just banging on the glass the whole practice. And, him and a couple others kind of took time of their day to come say hi to us, take a couple photos. And, I think that's a big thing as an NHL player, being able to give back to the community, give back to little kids who look up in those footsteps. And, now that, I'm here, I'm going to make sure I do that to kids and try to make everyone's day maybe a positive and a little bit better.
Is that the most mature answer you have heard from a kid who, in theory, is supposed to be going to Penn State this year? We're going to get to his lofty goal in a second. He's talking about this moment in his life where a former player went out of his way, 50 kids, he took pictures. Even that really brief moment in time that Wayne Simmons took out of his day to talk to a young Porter Martone, that's a thing that stuck with him. It's a thing that he still holds as a fundamental thing in his belief system of becoming a pro, is that those are the kind of moments that make a kid's day, that kind of stick with a kid. And then he says, that's going to be my goal. I want to be that player to a kid someday. I want to be the person who gives that kid a great day. Seems like a pretty mature thing to say. Feels like a guy who's already pretty good at this PR thing. All right, let's keep going.
What was the message to you just in general from the development staff that they want to see from you this week while you're here?
I think just really keep an open mind and learn things. You come in here to, you're meeting lots of new people through the organization and through other prospects. It's a fun week. You get to be, learning from NHL staff for the first time, and just come in here and really just take a lot of things that, I could work on in the summer and try to get better.
Okay, so that's always a good thing. We're not just talking about building off our strengths. We're talking about coming into dev camp, getting to work with pro coaches, and find what you can get better at and work really hard to get better at them. All right, well, this is a good thing. All right, keep going.
You mentioned after you got picked that you want to kind of put yourself in position to maybe make the team out of camp. There's been a lot of talk with juniors guys about the college route. Some guys are going that route. Have you made a decision to stay in juniors?
Charlie O'Connor asking a very important question. All right, supporter. Could go to college. You said you wanted to make the team. Maybe you think, all right, well, between the draft and now, maybe Porter Martone has had a second to kind of sit back and think and go, all right, I turned 18 at the end of October. I turned 19 in a few months, 3.5, 4-ish months. Maybe I should say I'm going to go to college. I'm excited about the opportunity. I'm going to go to Penn State. I'm going to go dominate the college ranks. I'll see you guys maybe at the end of the year. Maybe I'll see the Phantoms at the end of the year. Maybe I'll see you guys again this time next year with a shot to make the Flyers. Okay.
Yeah, for me, my mindset is playing in the NHL next year. And, if the management staff here thinks otherwise, that's when you kind of have the talk with my agent and me. But, right now my goal is to make the NHL and, have a big summer. Really gain some strength in the lower body and then come into camp and try to earn my spot. But for me, I want to go and, I want to play a full regular season in the NHL next year.
He's 19. Well, he'll be 19 by the time the season really gets going. He's not talking about, I'm going to bulk up. I'm going to make the most of the time with the coaches right now, and I'm going to go dominate college. He says, I want to be on this team. And not just like, I want to get a look for like 8 games. I want to be here for the whole season. Lofty goal. I put in the title of the episode, lofty goal. Now, is it realistic for Porter Martone to make this team out of camp? We'll talk about that in a little bit, but that is his lofty goal. He wants to make the team, and he wants to play a full season in the orange and black as a rookie. It's been done before. All right, let's see.
Rare mentioned the other day about Tyson Forster. He's dealing with an injury. They're not sure about his status, and he brought up your name as a guy that could compete to maybe help fill his void. How aware are you of the opportunity that could be here at camp?
Yeah, obviously when you come into camp, you're going to have to earn your job. You're not just going to get it given to you. And, if I get the opportunity to come in and, I'm going to give it my all and try to earn my spot in the open night roster. And if I do, that's a dream come true to, play with the, Flyers organization. But, that doesn't come without the work that needs to be put in. I still got to do some stuff throughout the summer to, get me ready for training camp in September and get me ready to, play in the NHL next season.
That's a damn good answer. Again, very good answer. You don't expect a spot. You have to earn your spot. Now, he's clearly not taking a shot at somebody who was once drafted in the first round by this organization, who some believe maybe felt like he was entitled to a spot on the team and didn't get it and then ultimately forced his way out of town. But Porter Martone is saying everything the way that you would want even a pro, even a young pro, to talk to the media. And by the way, this doesn't feel canned, right? This doesn't feel like he rehearsed his lines and he's just deadpanning them. This actually does feel like he knows the right thing to say, and he means it, and he gets it. And listen, the Tyson Forrester injury, could it change things for Porter Martone's chances of making the team? Sure could. Again, we'll get there in a second. Man, it's hard not to be impressed.
From your perspective, with everyone, it seemed like everyone kind of went down to that side of the ice where you were to watch you hit the ice for the first time. I mean, what's it kind of like from your perspective, seeing all the fans and all the interest?
Yeah, it's really cool. I've heard that the Flyers fans, they're very passionate about their team, very passionate about the Flyers. So, for me, I'm pretty happy, and it's pretty special to be in such a great organization and to just see that support. Just first development camp. They didn't have to come out this early in the morning to come watch, but you know what? There's quite a few that got to come see us hit the ice. So, it's special to have that support from the fans, and I expect that for a long career here in Philadelphia.
One or two more.
Good answers.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
All right, so that was Porter Martone. So again, I don't like to put too much stock. I truly don't. I don't like to put too much stock into what a prospect has to say. I don't tend to want to get hyperbolic, okay? Sometimes I get hyperbolic. I could show you this clip from Travis, who does work over for Nasty Knuckles. I could show you this video, and I could tell you that it's one of the best goals of the day, and I could tell you that it certainly gives you a lot of hope for the kid's upside and his potential and all that. But, maybe I will show you a little clip from Dev Camp because this is what you're looking for in the number 6 overall pick. Takes the puck. Yes. Nice little move. Nice little move. Bang. Now listen. Again, I'm not going to go hyperbolic. I'm not going to tell you that he and Matvei Mishkov are going to take over the league for the next decade and hoist multiple Stanley Cups. I'm not going to say that because it's going to happen whether I say it or not. No, this is just a point that needs to be made. Porter Martone, in that one press conference on the first day of Dev Camp, said exactly what he needed to. He didn't set the expectations too high. This wasn't I need to make the team or it's a failure. No. He didn't set the bar too low. He didn't say, I'm really excited about college and, it's cool to get together, but I know my place and I know that I'm young and I know that, it's unlikely I'll make the team this year, but I'm looking forward to Dev Camp. No. He said, I understand that I'm going to have to earn my place. Nothing is given to you. I have to earn my place. I have to build up the strength. I have to work on everything the coaches tell me at this camp. And I'm going to talk to the agent. And if the Flyers give me the feeling there's a chance to make it, I'm going to chat with the agent. I'm going to work really hard to make the team. And not just make the team, but play a full season as a Philadelphia Flyer. That's pretty wild stuff, guys.